లైవ్ సౌండ్ యూట్యూబ్లో యూట్యూబ్ వీడియో
You can listen now. I'll call. சவுண்ட் கேட்குதா? இப்போ கேட்குதா? ஓகே,
சவுண்ட் கேட்குதா? இதுலேயே கேட்கா அல்ஹம்துலில்லாஹ்.
So that we can kickstart the session in next 5 minutes. Thank you. So we'll start in 5 minutes. Thank you.
டீம்ஸ் அனுப்பிங்களா? ஏன்னா அந்த வீடியோ என்ன பண்ணுவோம் அனுப்பிச்சுடுமா? நான் பேசுவேன்.
குரூப்ல போடுறோம். மீனா குரூப்ல போடுறோம். மைக்ல இருந்து எடுத்துக்கிட்டு போட்டு
இங்க பாருங்க, இந்த சவுண்ட் வந்து இந்த மைக்ல எடுக்க மாட்டீங்களா? நல்லா இருக்கும். இதெல்லாம் நானா புஸ்தகம் என்ன சொல்லுவேன் இப்படி
Live streaming.
YouTube.
Yeah, thank you everyone. I hope everyone are settled. Thank you. Dear customers and colleagues, kindly be seated, please. Thank you. Yeah, good morning, everyone, respected leaders, esteemed partners, and dear colleagues. A very warm welcome to everyone here to the KaarTech MENA Summit 2025. It's amazing to see such a dynamic gathering today, where bold ideas meet real action, technology meets business, and vision turns into value. We are truly honored to have your presence here. I hope everyone is feeling the same excitement as here. The energy, the hall is already vibrant, and I'm confident that today will leave us with fresh perspectives and lasting inspiration. So, before we begin, just a quick reminder on the safety. Please take a note that the emergency exits are two at the back, one at the left, and one at the right. So, let's get started. Thank you, everyone.
اهلا وسهلا فيكم في قمه كارتك شرق الاوسط وشمال افريقيا 2025. نريد تنبيه بتوفر مخارج الطوارئ عن يمينك وشمالك الجزء الخلفي. شكرا لكم.
Thank you, Hope. So let's get officially started. It's my privilege to welcome Mr. Amar Halmubaine, Vice President, Head of Customer Office at KaarTech. With over 35 years of experience at Aramco IT, he has successfully led more than 100 transformative projects, shaping one of the most advanced IT landscape in the world. What makes his journey truly unique is that he once stood on the other side as a customer of KaarTech. Today, he heads our customer office, using the rich perspective in driving better customer experience and ensuring the real value for our customers. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Amar Al-Mubarak to share his opening remarks with us. Welcome, Mr. Amar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Respected industry leaders and partners, it's my great honor on behalf of KaarTech to welcome you to KaarTech MENA Summit 2025. At KaarTech, we feel privileged to have our footprint in the Middle East for the past 2 decades, alongside government agencies and enterprises of the region witnessed the remarkable ambition, and now we are humbled to contribute to the progress. Today, we'll explore the vision of digital transformation, the critical challenges organization faces, and the path from strategy to technology that can help turn into a value. That's why we designed this event to interact, while our fireside chat and panel will spotlight leaders on stage. We want the voice of everyone to be heard, your priorities, challenges, and advice to be used. Together, this becomes not just a conference, but a living dialogue. At the Arabic proverbs we say, Al-hikmatu dhalat al-mu'min. Wisdom is the property of the believers. Let us use this forum to share wisdom, exchange knowledge, and inspire one another. So with open hearts and fellow-looking minds, let us begin. Welcome once again to KaarTech MENA Summit 2025. May this summit be a source of inspiration, collaboration, and transformation for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amar, for your warm welcome. I hope he has energized everyone again. So let's begin the inauguration. It's now time for the official inauguration of the summit. We were expecting for the presence of our Honorable Deputy Minister from Ministry of Investment. Unfortunately, due to some emergency, he couldn't join us now. Maybe we are hopefully expecting his presence by the end of the event. I would like to welcome our esteemed customers along with our CEO, Mr. Marit Nagarajan, and our MENA CEO, Shahin Shah Abdul Bashir, and Mr. Amar Al-Mubarak to the stage for the official inauguration of the KaarTech MENA Summit 2025. Thank you. So I would like every customers to join us. Dear representatives, kindly bring all the customers to the table, please. Thanks for joining. Welcome all, welcome, thank you so much. So this is being the first summit of KaarTech in the KaarTech history of 20 years. So we are inaugurating this with the excellence of our customers because we understand that listening to customer is the first step to success. So we want all our customers to join in this inauguration moment and grace this successfully. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us on the stage. So let us officially inaugurate this moment. There's a video also played in the back. Thank you everyone for gracing this moment successfully. It's a privilege. So I would like to announce that the guests to stay here for a short capturing of the moment. Kindly request photographer, please. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much to everyone. Thank you very much for gracing this moment. It's a privilege for all of us. Thank you so much. Please take your seats. Kindly take your seats. Thanks for joining.
الاحترام على تشريفكم هذا الهدف. شكرا جزيلا ضيوفنا الكرام على تشريفكم في هذا الهدف.
Thank you, everyone. It's a privilege to have us here and join us for the inauguration of the first ever event in KaarTech history in the 20 years. Thank you so much. So I hope everyone have settled down. So let me take 2 minutes for the scene. So thanks for officially inaugurating. I would like to play a 2 minute video about the history and the journey of KaarTech as well as the GCC in this Middle East and North African region. So I would like everyone to watch the video for just 2 minutes. Thank you.
Welcome, visionary leaders. A world of possibilities is unfolding. Human creativity and technology unite to shape a bold future. At the heart of this future, the GCC leads the technological leap. Over the past 2 decades, the Gulf Cooperation Council has emerged as one of the fastest growing regions in the world. Today, the GCC economy stands at over $2.4 trillion, with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates contributing nearly 3/4 of this growth. By 2030, the Middle East is projected to be among the world's top 10 economic powerhouses. Bold national visions like Saudi Vision 2030, We the UAE 2031, Qatar National Vision 2030, Oman Vision 2040, Kuwait Vision 2035, Bahrain Economic Vision 2030 are driving this technology transformation. From AI and blockchain to cloud computing, the region is transforming into a powerhouse of digital innovation. KaarTech stands at the heart of this progress, driving the region's vision forward. Since 2005, KaarTech has evolved into a global leader in digital transformation. From our first oil and gas customer in Saudi Arabia to achieving major milestones across GCC, our journey has been one of resilience, innovation, and growth. From localized expertise to global insights, we drive impact. Through challenges like the oil crisis and the pandemic, our people stood strong, enabling us to grow stronger. Today, with over 450 plus customers, 3,300 plus projects, and regional headquarters in Riyadh, we stand as a trusted partner driving the overall GCC vision forward. And now, this journey of progress brings us to today. KaarTech MENA Summit 2025. Vision, technology, and leadership converge to shape the future. As we inaugurate this summit, we are pleased to invite all the participants, including visionaries, C-suite leaders, and technology experts from across the GCC, to a one-of-its-kind summit. Welcome to the future.
Thank you, everyone. So how this video captures the collaboration, we wanted to take the privilege with our customers for gracing this event. As a next session, We now move to a special session on digital transformation, a topic that is shaping the way organizations across the MENA region grow, adapt, and compete. In this session, three distinguished leaders will share their unique perspectives, experiences, and practical insights. They will take us through the relative realities of transformation, the strategies to turn vision into reality, and the role of technology in driving meaningful change across the enterprises. So now we begin with Mr. Shahin Shah, CEO, MENA, KaarTech, a transformational leader who has successfully guided organizations across multiple industries through their most complex journeys of change. With decades of experience delivering large-scale transformational initiatives, he has consistently driven constant customer excellence and innovation across the Middle East region. His strength lies in combining strategic vision with execution on the ground, helping enterprises not only overcome disruption but also unlock new avenues of growth. Known for his transformative and pragmatic leadership, there is no one more fitting to speak on the hard truths of digital transformation than a leader who has both lived and led transformation at a scale. So I would like to welcome Mr. Shahin Shah Abdul Bashir to join us on stage to deliver the speech about the hard truths of digital transformation. Welcome, Shahin Shah.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's a great pleasure to welcome everyone over here. For KaarTech, this is the first edition of KaarTech Summit. We, as a KaarTech, being in this region for more than 2 decades in Middle East, which is very close to our heart. The reason is we started our footprints in Saudi Arabia, and today, with all your support, we have grown exponentially across 15 countries. Today, we as a KaarTech, we are here with the great partners and the customers, the prestigious strategic customers like you. We all exist. So I'm sure that everyone is talking about the growth of the Middle East. I'm sure everyone is today is envisioning about the national vision, the growth. Every Middle East country that is moving towards the national vision, that every world is watching us. Now, we could see that it is going to be the top 10 global countries in the world in near future is what expected the study is talking about. Now, with all this in place, there is one important thing for Middle East. We being in this region for more than 2 decades, what we observe is we always want to exceed the expectations of the customer. We always want to understand the pain in the journey of the digital transformations. So here, though we assume as globally the East is going to be the new West, this is what we call, because the future is predicting this East is going to be the new West. But are we doing the best in terms of the execution, the quality of the digital transformation? That's the important subject we all are here to discuss and understand, because the growth is something given for Middle East because of the visionary leaders, what we have. So growth is something given. But what is the quality that we are bringing to the table? What kind of the excellence that we are bringing to the table as a leaders is what really value a lot. We know that in any digital transformations, there are challenges. We start from the challenges sometimes the entire journey of the digital transformation is a pain. We could have some customers, we hear the feedback, post go live, post successful implementation, the end users are not happy. The end users are not satisfied with the way how the execution has happened. And there are situations where we would have gone live, but the board and the management may not be convinced with the successful returns of what is being expected on the value realization. Why? Why do we have such kind of scenario? Is it something, a tool that what we select? Is that the reason? But here is what I want to seek the important attention from every stakeholder over here. Today, the truth is, the ERP transformations, they say 70% of the large transformation phase, which means we proudly say that we did successful go lives, we are done the complete implementation, but here we fail. The 70% of the large scale implementation phase is the global study done by the think tanker MIT. Now here, what comes to our mind? Okay, is it a tool that gives us a message of 70% failure? No. It is all about how the execution is happening. Now, what as a leaders, as a technology leaders, what we move towards, we assume that okay, the ERP did not support us to give the better value realization, then immediately what comes to our mind is move towards the latest technology, which is the buzzwords AI. Now the AI, everyone knows the AI is going to be the future. The AI transformation is going to be the future. But the shocking truth is 95% of the organization fails in the AI roadmap. Why is that? Why do we have that failure? This is the reality. This is what the study talks about. See, it's all about, as a leaders, we take some time to realize where do we lack. It is our collective responsibility to change the world towards the vision of growing, making the East as a new West. This is what we need to understand. So here, what comes? So we know that tools does not have a problem. It is not a problem with the AI. It is a problem with the transformation. How do we approach the structure? So for this, we as a KaarTech, we see that the 30% of the success rate which happened, the study talks about whichever organization, the leadership given a mandate to drive outcome-driven transformation. When you have outcome-driven transformation, we as an organization will be able to measure the value of those outcomes. What comes to our mind when we say outcome? We say that outcome is all about milestones. That is what comes top of our mind. The milestones of each phases, milestone, the mandate, what is given from the management, is the mandate that we are running towards. But does it make us success? Whether the failure rate, what was, we have seen the 70% failure rate, is it reflecting that we have succeeded on the transformations? No. So here, this is where we say that the outcome-driven digital transformation. When we say outcome-driven digital transformation, we talk about two major pillars. One, the financial outcomes. And another one is experience outcomes. If you just think every problem, every feedback, every management inputs we will be able to address within these two pillars. So it is important we peg every data to these outcomes. Okay, what is the financial outcomes? When we say financial outcomes, it is all about the three metrics. I'm sure everyone is familiar with the P&L, balance sheet, and cash flow. Now, every value, every expectation, either it should be pegged with the financial outcomes of these three metrics, P&L, balance sheet, and cash flow, and this metrics will give the result what is expected from the stakeholder, the shareholder experience. Now, the another pillar is, which is experience outcome, we categorize into 5, which is customer experience, employee experience, stakeholder experience, shareholder experience, and the society experience. When we say the customer experience, as an organization, KaarTech, we measure the customer experience by the Net Promoter Score. The Net Promoter Score we measure, and the employee experience we measure by the Great Place to Work survey. The stakeholder experience we measure by the profits. The shareholder experience we also measure in terms of the profits and also the value that we give to the shareholders. And societal we measure with the ESG. So we have a matrix. Likewise, without this matrix, without we align and peg to those metrics, we will not be able to give the real value realization of any digital transformation. This is what is today's reality. Now, when we have to assess what is the true value realization, most of the time we see the return of investment in terms of the value, but as a leaders, as a tech leaders, we recommend to assess whether we have realized the value expected from the management, expected from the business community, is the complete analysis and the study I want you to go through. In this entire experience, we have been doing KaarTech, the journey of 2 decades. This transformation, this gives us an experience, the techniques and the frameworks to establish and to increase the experience of the customer. So here, I welcome Rajkumar Ashokan, who is the head of operation for MENA, to give you the detailed insight about how the outcomes being measured and pegged towards to the business expectations. So I welcome Raj on the stage to brief. Thank you so much, team. It's a pleasure hosting you all here. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Shanik Shah, for highlighting the Middle East emergence as a global leader. And the statistics, what you have provided, it's really an eye-opener to all of us today, why the transformation fails. And also you highlighted the business outcome, how it is getting impacted during the digital transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all witnessed the digital transformation challenges which impacts the business outcome and the organization vision. The question is, we as a leader, how are we going to address this? How are we going to ensure the success of the digital transformation? How are we going to extract the highest value out of the digital transformation? The digital transformation should support and ease the business operation, not to complicate them. We at KaarTech, having 2 decades of experience, with that experience, we brought a unique value proposition to our customers. The theme here, going to drive with all of you, is vision to the value. how this framework is really going to support the digital transformation journey of our esteemed customer. What is the unique recipe in the vision to value framework as what we are bringing on the table? It is all about bringing vision to the value. There are steps and sequences to follow. When the vision has not been defined and aligned with the key stakeholders, with the employees, we will not be able to realize the value. If you see, Shine touched about most of the digital transformation fails, 70%. If we go and research the digital transformation failure reason, post to that implementation, if you ask the user, as he rightly pointed out, the users are unhappy, the executive leader team 100% unhappy, the department streams and the heads are unhappy. What it coins? All these are all the emotional pains which were not recorded in any form of data. So the unique recipe, what we are going to talk about in the vision to value framework is what we are bringing. The outcome-based transformation. We need to define the values. Why we are doing digital transformation. It is important for all of us to know the objective. We should have the bold vision and execute with the measurable values to align and to attain the organization mission. We at KaarTech, we are not only delivering the solutions. With the exceptional outcomes in all the engagement, that's the specialty of KaarTech. With this, aligning with the strategy and the vision and the unique value proposition, we are always getting the higher customer satisfaction and the net performer score. Let us deep dive into the vision to value framework. In order to succeed the digital transformation journey, it is not only to adapt the vision to value framework as what is being proposed by KaarTech. It is equally important the business alignment, the employee alignment towards the framework. Having said that, as a partner, what are we going to get ready for the vision to value roadmap? What do we need to get ready as a partner? We need to have a strong consulting experience. We, KaarTech, with the 2 decades of experience, we are coming up with rich industry value experience to the markets. How it is going to be really helpful? These industry value experts on the consulting front are really going to take the transformation journey with a measurable outcome. For this, in the structure itself, we have a clear focus. What are we focusing? We are focusing a very specific industry like oil and gas, public sector, service vertical, manufacturing, retail, pharma and life science. These are all our core focus when it comes to the industry side of it. With this clear focus, structurally we are imbibing the vertical heads to have a special attention to the industry. That really helps us to mine more knowledge, and that knowledge now converted as a wisdom with the emotional experience. With this, we classify the operations into two different arms. One is the consulting, the other one is the delivery arm. In both the arms, in the operations, with rich industry experience specific to the industry, the industry experts will be engaged during the transformation journey. Starts from the vision setting to the value realization. And we, as KaarTech, with a rich experience in the consulting, we are bringing the success recipe in the vision to value framework. What is that success recipe? That success recipe is all about the outcome-driven consulting questionnaires. We call it as ODCQ. When we are going to build the vision, the strong vision, we need to have the success recipe. So this outcome-driven consulting questionnaires, with our experience, we are calling it as our intellectual property, where the business need the mandated business processes with the required tech assets, the required and the mandated applications, and also the technology. Now, with this, what is the value we are bringing in? During the transformation journey, this ODCQ, the outcome-driven consulting questionnaires, will allow us to use the reusable accelerators, the models and methods to ensure the success of the digital transformation. Now, we are starting with the vision setting. So the consulting arm is setting the vision. The consulting arm with the industry value experts, they are going to engage with the executive leadership team, with the ideation workshop. That's the first stage when we are looking for the vision setting. When we are starting the ideation workshop with the executive leadership team, we are not just going to ask, sir, what is your problem? What is your pain point? No. It is about, we are going to define, we are going to support the executive leadership team to define the value, define the vision, and we are going to align with the vision statement. As I mentioned earlier, alignment is one of the important factors in any digital transformation. We talk about the change management. So the management starts during the initial stage of the project. Now, so the alignment is important. The alignment is important. What are we going to do with this? With the bold vision setting, with the measurable outcome. As Shankar talks about two different outcomes. What are the two different outcomes? One, with the financial outcome. The two is your experience outcome. All your business needs, the requirements will be pegged against these two. How are we going to do this? Is there any proven model, methods, techniques? Yes. It is not just by defining the problem statement when we are getting into the ideation workshop. It is about how and what and why. What it is locking us to reach to the organization vision, integrate with your digital transformation vision. Now, for which the organization priority, when it comes to the priority for all the business pain points, will be clustered against these two metrics as what we are calling it as an experience outcome and financial outcome. So any vision any of that initiatives which is being taken should be measurable. Without measurement, post to the implementation, we are all hearing that feedback as what I talked before. The users are not happy. The stakeholders are not happy because we are not recording any of the emotions. The emotion of pains are not converted into the data. Now, with this ideation workshop, we recorded the executive leadership team level, the business pain, their needs, their insights, where do they want to take their organization in the future, for which, what is the roadblocks we have. So everything will be recorded here. Now, I talked about the unique recipe. Outcome-driven consulting customers. We have categorized the outcome-driven consulting customers with two different personas. One for the executive leadership team and two for the departments and the segment heads. To make sure that the industry mandated business processes are imbibed during the workshop. Now, this is the starting point. And we will also consult with the executive leadership team. Sir, do you really need this? And these are all the mandated steps. Not only with that, we are also going to take the reference of the APQC, which is American Process Quality Control, which has 21 different line of businesses, the industry best practices. And we are one of the richest consulting company to utilize the American Process Quality Control, starting from the digital transformation journey during the initial workshop itself. It helps the executive leadership team to compare their organization to the peer industry as well. That really helps us how the peer industries are growing, how they are controlling their cost, how the revenues are getting increased, and how their employees are happy, how the customers' net performance score is really high, and what all the initiatives have been taken by the organization. All these with the unified platform from KaarTech we are offering during the workshop. Now, as an outcome, we have the problem team, the ELP, the executive leadership team, and their insights. With this, we are taking that as an input to kickstart the next phase, which is the digital discovery. When I say digital discovery, it is 100% aligned with the organizational vision and the roadblocks with the problem team. And we are going to engage this with the departments and the segment heads. The industry value experts from our side, they are going to work with the department heads and the segment heads to further narrow down your business processes. Having said that, at this level also, we are going to use the outcome-driven consulting questionnaires as well as the APQC framework to narrow down the business process to the tools and to the persona-wise. And this really helps us to narrow down their needs, their insights, and their problems converted as a point of view. Meaning, the point of view, the POV as an outcome with a combination of the users, their needs, and their insights. Now, all the users' emotion of pain is being thoroughly recorded. And that's how we are going to measure the outcome. And that is the starting point to measure the outcome. The study strongly recommends the leaders, when we are going for the digital transformation, it is very important to define the outcome. If there is no outcome, even if you are implementing the highly sophisticated applications into your infrastructure, which will not give a productive outcome. So for which these unique value proposition as what we are bringing on the table is really helpful for your organization to record the emotions, the pains into the data format. Now, as an outcome of my digital discovery, I have the business processes with the data. And again, I touched upon the data. The data is one of the key challenges in any digital transformation program. As I mentioned clearly, the outcome-based transformation consulting partners really helps. What are the mandated critical master data are required for a specific industry? Because our ODCQ, it's purely derived based on the industry. So the critical master data and the structure, how are we going to address the pain points on those critical master data? We are going to do the triple V analysis during this stage itself with the help of industry value experts. What is triple V analysis? It talks about the value, volume, and the velocity of the data. This will really helpful for us to understand the quality of the data which are currently running in my business operations. How I am going to present, what is the strategy, how I am going to structure fragmented data, that roadmap, that strategy will also be part of this digital discovery. And the recommendations are given. The point of view documents happily will derived and pegged with the experience outcome and financial outcome. Is that done? No. The third important phase to define the transformation roadmap. That is where the success of the implementation lies most of the time to draw the line of your digital transformation. Now, this phase, the transformation roadmap, which clearly talks about what are the business processes and the data and the application and the technology which are highly required for my enterprises. This defines clearly the enterprise architecture in the name of 4 different forms: business, data, application, and the technology. With this, we are defining the future state plan. Now the executive leadership team and the department segment heads receive the future state plan in the alignment of the organization vision and the digital transformation vision. This will definitely take us to the next orbit. We should have the strong belief that with the vision what we hold as an organization, we should always trust the vision. We should always trust the vision and uphold the process. That is very important. Now at this stage, with the help of the industry value experts from our side, working with the executive leadership team and the business segment heads, we happily derived the vision with the measurable outcome. Is that the journey done? No, it's a starting point. Now we clearly carved out the pain point. It is recorded. And how are we going to convert this value? That's where my solution delivery is going to now bring the vision to the life. We are going to measure the value during the cycle. So the solution delivery is important. When I say solution delivery, every one of us talks about, yes, we have a clear governance, we have a militant governance, we have a clear point, all we have, even though the ERP transformation fails. Why? We are not focusing, not only for the project management side. Also, we need to have a clear focus on the solution management side. for which we are bringing one more recipe, call it as solution management framework. We defined the business processes, the required data, application, and technology, which carved out the transformation roadmap. Now with this solution management framework, we are further classifying and defining the business process to the variant level, which the value expert, the industry value experts are going to utilize the accelerators. It will be really helpful for us to retrieve the business process variant, which is the fourth level of your business processes. With the help of reusable accelerators, what we are bringing. As I mentioned, we are positioning ourselves, we are one among the leading consulting partners in the market, specific to the industry. Rich experience, we are bringing this unique value proposition to our customers to make sure the success of the digital transformation. Not only that, this solution management framework will be thoroughly audited by the solution assurance team when it comes for the solution delivery. This will again double check all my key parameters, the critical parts during the life cycle of my implementation with checks and balances. With the required audits, the report will get published, and the corrective measures, if there are anything identified on a proactive manner, we are addressing those gaps. This is the unique value proposition we are bringing on the table. As well, we are not just only delivering the solutions, we are delivering the exceptional outcome out of the engagement. With this, the target state will attain. During the life cycle of the implementation, we will have the measurement point for all the outcomes, what is being defined during the build stage. With this, the value measurement, with the baseline date and the expected outcomes, what we are trying to get out of this transformation will be clearly presented to the executive leadership team, the board members, and with the help of department heads. Now, the users are witnessing, the users are really witnessing the business outcomes. They are seeing it in the value, reality. Now, my basement is ready. Technically, on the application side, the data side, on the business side, my basement is ready. Now, we really need to think about the next stage of the digital transformation, which talks about the innovation, the continuous innovation. With the recent wave, with the current wave, how to automate my business, and what set of data, structured data are available. How I am going to take this into the AI league. So these are all the vision point with a continuous vision innovation we are going to have. With this, the value will be realized. Now, having said that, all of these processes, when it comes to the enterprise architect, when it comes to the data side of it, also on the process side, we need to digitally record. That is the trending area where the organization need to focus on, for which SAP is giving a high quality solution called Business Transformation Management Package to record the enterprise architecture, to record the business processes with the help of two. Your enterprise architecture will be recorded in the digital form with the help of LeanIX, and as all your business processes will be recorded in the business process management tool called Signavia. And also close to the implementation, the WalkMe is also the other solution where it has a live interaction with the user community to address all your relevant issues. Now I would like to invite Mr. Robert business value experts from SAP to take us through, to walk us through on the business transformation management. Thank you very much. Okay, there should have been some sound, but doesn't matter. So, Salam Alaikum, a very warm welcome also from my side. My name is Robert Hüfler. I am Chief Expert at SAP Business Transformation Management, located at the SAP headquarters in Waldorf, Germany. It's a real honor for me to join here the first KaarTech MENA Summit in 2025. Actually, it's my first time in Saudi Arabia, and in more than 12 years of my SAP career. And I'm truly excited to see so many technology leaders and also innovators gathering in this room here today. Today, we want to talk about digital transformation to lay the foundation to adopt innovations, groundbreaking innovations such as artificial intelligence. My personal career started in process consulting, where I was involved in large ERP rollout projects, into carve-out projects, mergers and acquisitions. And I was always passionate about creating incremental business value by improving processes with the help of technology. So I'm very keen, actually, that SAP has evolved the whole business transformation practice to a whole new solution area called SAP Business Transformation Management that I'm going to introduce you today. Let me also add that I'm a true believer that transformation is not just about technology and data. It's about evolving people, evolving organizations to continuously adopt and also adopt groundbreaking technologies such as artificial intelligence and quantum computing in the future. But let me start with a personal anecdote. When I arrived in Riyadh 4 days ago, I passed by the Kingdom Center, the iconic tower that really defines the cities. What really caught my attention was the sky bridge suspended between the two ends of the inverted parabolic arch. This is not just a masterpiece of engineering, but it's also a lifeline of connection and stability. So now imagine, well, when I was standing up there on the sky bridge, I was thinking of one metaphor. Imagine this building being your business with a common vision, common objectives, and a solid foundation. The more your own business grows, the more fragmented and distinguished it might become, resulting into fragmented processes, fragmented teams, fragmented people, and also data. In order to stay competitive and stable like this Kingdom Center, you have to bridge and connect your fragmented processes, teams, data, and also systems. So maybe you can compare transformation even to the Kingdom Center to build something adaptive, human-centered that will last. But before we talk about how to create the bridge to successful transformation, let me start with a question. Why you should transform, or why companies transform, and not only focusing on the failures? Well, I see many organizations being already highly digitized. I think your business is the same. You have invested millions of dollars into creating your current enterprise and architecture landscape. Well, I see that, for example, also, I see many companies, let me give an example from Europe, trying to adopt AI, that they're trying to put it on top of their existing operations, on top of their existing processes. And then they wonder why these initiatives stall in the pilot phase or do not lead to the expected outcomes.
they were initially promising. What needs to be done instead is you need to fundamentally rethink your operations based on AI or infuse the AI. And that's hard. So why do companies transform? And here I'd like to classify in 3 drivers for transformation that I see in my customer interactions. The first is, I see companies who want to stay ahead of the market, who want to lead the market, who need to adapt and transform in order to adopt changing customer preferences. Other companies also don't want to be left out guardrail by any kind of geopolitical tensions, tariffs that are imposed, or any unforeseen events they cannot control by themselves. This is number 1. Number 2, and I think this is very relevant for this region here, I see companies transforming based on internal drivers to break growth barriers. Growth is such an important key topic and driver in this region. When I was talking to customers here, we could see that their existing processes are not keeping up with the pace of change and the pace of growth. So you need to rethink your processes, be it more automated or be it more efficient, in order to scale and pivot your business. Many transformations, what I see with many old companies, are technology driven, also here with the new SaaS companies, where existing technology landscape was good to fit the needs of your business models of yesterday. But they are transforming in order to set the foundation to adopt new innovations, such as artificial intelligence, moving also into the cloud. So despite these clear drivers for transformation, we, as my previous speakers Raj also pointed out, we see that business outcomes fall short. And what we could see based on a Gartner study, their spending forecast, it's not because of investment. More than $5 trillion will be spent in 2025 globally in digital transformation projects. So would it now be an option to wait to transform? Absolutely not. Because, as I already said, the rate of innovation is already increasing. And the longer you wait to improve your processes, to move into the cloud, to enable your people, the later you will start to realize value. That's what we are looking for, right? And the more the transformation depth or the digital depth is going to grow. And the question remains if you will ever be able to close this gap, stay competitive, or actually be in the market at all. So, as I said, investment is not a reason why transformation outcomes fall short, but it's the way how transformations are approached. If you treat it as a one-off project, that you start all over and again, and if you do changes in isolation rather in a holistic way, you will leave your company and your business unprepared for the nature of change in the future. What you need to do instead is you will need to embed transformation as a capability into your organization. So it's like a muscle you have to train over and over again so that you can apply the transformation muscle over and over again. So true transformation requires you to advance in 4 key dimensions: people, applications, data, and processes. Your transformation has to be people-centric, so you need to enable and engage your people so that they leverage new systems, new applications, new processes to their utmost extent to generate value. You need to have the right applications in place that form the technological backbone. Also, as Raj mentioned, you need to have the right data in place that forms the foundation for all of your operations, but also the foundation for artificial intelligence to work. And last but not least, a very important dimension is also processes, that you need to have efficient and scalable processes that support scaling your business here in the region and globally. Transformation, and by the way, if any of these dimensions is mismatched, if people are poorly enabled how to leverage new applications, if processes are not efficient, if we have unstructured, wrong data, master data in place, as Raj mentioned, the transformation efforts will not result into long-lasting impact and will not yield to the business outcomes you were promising at the beginning. So transformation has to become a capability that you have to do over and over again. And that's why we at SAP visualize it as an infinity loop that you can see here. And by the way, this infinity loop clearly interacts also with the vision to value framework that KaarTech is mentioning. So it's the same, just visualized in a different way. What is our expectation? You always want to have the finger at the pulse in the discovery phase. You always want to understand and know how are your processes performing. Where do we have bottlenecks? Where can we become more efficient? What applications are we using in what region, in what processes, and how are the applications leveraged by my employees? And you take this discovery as a basis to analyze where really value potential is. Where should we focus our transformation effort that leads to the biggest value? If we improve this process, we can become faster, we can save cost. If we leverage these applications, we can rationalize other applications and reduce our IT cost. This is what the analysis in the analysis phase allows you to do, to prioritize. And that's very important in any transformation initiative, because we all just have limited capacity, limited time, also limited budget. You then, in the next step, want to collaboratively design the target state, the future processes, your future application landscape between business and IT. And you also want to derive relevant enablement plans out of this. So at SAP, with our solutions, we want to provide you with fast time to insights so that you can quickly prioritize and quickly understand what is required for the future. But it doesn't stop here. Now, when I was a consultant, a process consultant, we designed the to-be state with business, and then we handed it over into IT, or in solution consultants. And they customized or implemented something somewhat different. So what we need to do is, we need to bridge silos, like the Kingdom Center bridge. And we need to hand over, and I will show it to you later in a little demo, we need to hand over to-be process designs in order to design the application, to implement and to test it. We also need to enable our people. We can train them in advance, but I will show you in just a minute how WalkMe as a solution can guide your end users of your business in applications while they are running the process. This is what SAP Business Transformation Management Solutions are uniquely built for and help you to do across SAP and non-SAP landscapes. SAP Signavio, as Raj mentioned, is your business process management suite that helps you to understand, analyze, and optimize your processes collaboratively between all relevant stakeholders. WalkMe is your digital adoption platform that helps you to guide, govern, and automate end-user interactions in the application itself for the benefit of driving tech adoption across applications and workflows. And let me give you an example of a customer I visited yesterday. I think they require WalkMe. They implemented Ariba about a year ago, and they're facing adoption of end users. So the end users are doing the same as they did in the past, or they are not following the processes that were designed. I asked them if it's because you have clearly defined processes or if it's a change management issue. And it seems to be a change management issue. So the question is, how can we help end users in their business to become, so that's easier for them and more intuitive to run this application. This is what WalkMe can help you to do. I will show you a little later. And SAP LeanIX, as Raj mentioned, is not only your enterprise architecture management solution that helps you to visualize and assess your current as-is landscape, but also to confidently plan and navigate towards your IT architecture. And also in IT, visibility is key because you all know the interdependencies between different applications. And if you move one to the cloud, if another one is phasing out, if the third one has an end of maintenance, what am I using? And by the way, do we have actually shadow IT that is used we are not aware of? So there's also huge cost, training, and test potential in here. All these three solutions at SAP and SAP's product strategy form an own area, an own solution area called business transformation management that goes across all other solutions that you might know. Why across? Because it helps you to implement or to transform towards these solutions and help you adopt them. So whenever you're going to invest in these solutions, I can tell you, you're going to invest into the fastest growing solution area currently at SAP. That's what this solution area is represented. So what makes this portfolio truly unique is that it's unrivaled in the market. There is no other competitor compared to SAP who can provide you with the same kind of integration and with the same kind of solution offering, especially when it comes to SAP-centric transformations. So when you have the objective to move your current SAP ERP ECC system to SAP S/4HANA, we leverage that we are part of the SAP ecosystem. So we touch into 50 years of domain experience. We have detailed insight into data and data objects that are used. And also, we have the possibility to mutually design integration and also development roadmaps. So when it comes to SAP, and I will show you how we also integrate between other solutions, we are unrivaled in the market. But business transformation management solutions do not stop at the walls of SAP. In fact, all these three solutions are agnostic solutions. So you can leverage them irrespective if you're focusing on SAP or non-SAP. Why? Well, SAP LeanIX is your enterprise architecture management solution. And you can manage any kind of enterprise architecture assets coming from SAP, Oracle, ServiceNow, or whatever you have in your business. You want to create a repository of what you are having to create transparency, where you can rationalize, where you can modernize, and how to plan your transformations. Same goes for Signavio. It's a business process management suite. And your process can run in every process that can run in any kind of solution, right? So it's an agnostic solution as well. WalkMe, you can also overlay on top of any kind of application to help you guide across applications even. So let me emphasize that all three solutions are also recognized as best in class regarding non-SAP transformations by analysts and also by customers. We also asked independent analysts to figure out the return on investment. And here, just to give you some numbers from Forrest and also from IDC that can be seen also in all those reports given here. Let me also say that these solutions are applied in many companies. So you can also just simply scan the QR code and read through the different success stories within different industries and also within different global areas. And for the sake of the region, I also brought another example. Maybe you know this company here producing juice and also milk and food products. It's called NADEC, National Agricultural Development Company. They are also using SAP Signavio in order to create efficiency and automation in their processes. There will be a webinar on the 15th of October where they will speak if you're interested. So, but not only our customers are using those solutions. In Germany, we're saying, drink your own champagne. So, also at SAP, we are using SAP Signavio LeanIX. Why? Well, we ourselves are going through a digital transformation, or a transformation itself. If you remember, SAP was an on-premise company selling large, so maybe even on a disk past, and our whole business model changed towards being a cloud-native company. So now imagine, we had just a few number of sales orders and invoices we had to process in the past, maybe larger, but now we are running into subscription billing. So subscription billing requires completely different processes. And now we have to also evolve the company towards a cloud-native company. So we are using the tools ourselves to really understand the processes, understand what technology and applications we are using, and we are also using Warpy by ourselves. I could show you even our process house, our production client of LinIX that we run in a break situation. Now, it's a bit of the same that Raj just showed you, the vision to value framework, but I would like to put it also one level deeper with a little demonstration also behind. To bring your strategy to execution, I want to really clear, you have different steps you're going through, as also Raj mentioned. You can also see here the activate phases, the activate methodology phases, discover, prepare, if you're interested. And it all starts with your transformation strategy. And this has to be clear because your transformation objectives are already. Before you transform, and before to define where you want to go, you need to understand where you are today, right? Where am I performing not so well? How do I perform against my industry peers? What applications am I having these days? So let me now show you how these 3 applications support you throughout every step of your transformation and make sure that processes, systems, and people remain aligned from start to finish. At the beginning, to understand where we are today, we want to know in which process area we are not to our utmost extent. And this process area should be also connected to our business objective, strategic objective, and also then our transformation objective. Well, we can leverage Signavio that provides us that we can connect to our SAP ERP ECC or S/4HANA backend system. And out of the box, with the help of the so-called plug and gain approach, we can gain process analysis and execution insights, visualized in such a process house according to those 8 major end-to-end processes. And we also provide you with a so-called best run score. And the best run score here tells you efficient and how effective your processes are and how far also close to SAP standard execution. We can see that in our source to pay processes, we have a low best run score. And this best run score helps us to focus fast where we have issues in a data-driven way. So we could now drill down into our process house to figure out the modular sub-processes where we seem to underperform. And we receive out-of-the-box analysis how our the prosecution of our purchase order creation is running. We only see a best run score of 31%, so it might not be currently efficient enough. We also get an out-of-the-box transaction analysis showing that we seem to have 10% of custom transactions used. This might be an issue for underperforming. We don't know, because we want to standardize and get rid of custom things. But we can also now compare the usage of custom transactions to process performance. Here we see that the transaction code ZP01 even has a negative impact on the average cycle time and that goods received is created earlier than planned. So we can connect with process intelligence to figure out the root cause. But it doesn't stop only with insight. We can create also actions out of it. So we can now gather all relevant stakeholders, people around this issue, make it a so-called initiative, and drive this initiative internally to focus on during our transformation project. But we could, before we prioritize, and that's really an issue, we can also take one step back and have a look how my process execution is performing against my industry peers. Right? So we can leverage the so-called external analysis provided by SAP because we have a benchmarking database. We could now benchmark our source-to-pay process here on the bottom towards our industry peers. We could drill down into modular sub-processes because we have a focused purchase order items created. And we see that even against our industry peers, we are performing at lower levels. Why is this relevant? Oh, we want to stay out of competition. We want to be better than our competitors. So you have this possibility to really understand how your processes are running internally and how we perform against the industry peers. Well, since the whole procure-to-pay process is running in SAP and non-SAP applications, with Signavio you also have the capability of do a process mining across applications, be it SAP or non-SAP. So you can leverage these capabilities to really understand how your processes are running, what executions exist, what process variants exist, and we can also see here that we have a low automation rate and a low conformance level. We could even now slice and dice all this analysis to really understand what if my process is running through SAP and non-SAP solutions, how does it look like? And what if the same process is only using SAP applications? So to really understand where the root cause is, what we need to do. All right, now let's move to the enterprise architecture. Here, the objective is really to understand what am I currently using, what applications do I have in place, and what is it that I need to transform. We are in LeanIX. In the LeanIX, you can visualize your business objectives. You can even prioritize them into high, medium, and low priority, and you can relate them also to your business capabilities that are up for you. The business capability map allows you to really say, what is it your business is doing? How do you generate value? What is required, and what is your current maturity and target maturity that you have to define yourself? How do you define the target maturity? Well, it depends on your strategic objectives, what you want to achieve, right? If you want to become better in customer satisfaction or better in customer delivery, then you have to improve this business capability. In the next step, you also want to understand what applications am I using or do I have in place that support these kind of different business capabilities. And maybe you see, oops, 3 applications doing exactly the same, supporting the same business capabilities. So you create transparency in order to understand where to rationalize or where to harmonize or modernize. So LeanIX also allows you, and I think this is a key important thing also for your transformation projects, to visualize interfaces. With such a certain map in our sourcing and procurement, we can easily visualize what if we are phasing out SAP ERP ECC materials management module, what is it connected to? Which interfaces do we have to take into consideration our projects? Why do I say this? Well, in my projects, interface stability took always 30 to 50% of the time in the end. We even can leverage WalkMe data to understand in bubble charts how is this application penetrated or used by my employees. Because it could be that we have 3 applications, but only one of them is actually in use, and the other 2 just used by 1 or 2 people. So we have gained now fact-based arguments why to phase out an application. And in Germany, we are saying, on Europe, you take out emotions out of these discussions. You come with fact-based insights and data-driven insights. So our objective now is, we want to phase out SAP ECC and leverage SAP S/4HANA procurement. We can jump now in LeanIX into the so-called fact sheet. And this is our ID card, where we can collect all kind of information around this enterprise application. Not only where it's active, who is the owner or who to approach, but also the life cycle information, any kind of successor or predecessor information, and also the environment that it's in, so the so-called Relations Explorer. And if we double-click, we gain transparency. What kind of data objects are leveraged in this application? Or what kind of business process is this application assigned to or used in? And right here is one of the integration points, also back to Signavio, back to our process management solution that you've seen before, that we really can now create the link, what application is used where. Why is this relevant? Well, if you want to phase out an application and you're going to have a downtime, maybe you want to know in which critical processes this application is used. Who do you have to re-enable? Or who do you need to involve into this transformation project? So we now have a clear understanding of where we are today. Now we want to say how to work in the future. It's also, as Raj mentioned, the target design that we want to do. From a process perspective, I hear from many customers, show me the SAP best practices so that I can align on them. It's actually a huge library of more than, I think, 4,000 processes. Well, let's just leverage the AI search functionality to find the best practice models for procurement of materials. So this is just an AI functionality of built-in AI into our solutions. And this will give us recommendations of processes that might be applicable to what we need, the best practice process. So we can simply now save and edit this process into our own Signavio workspace. And now comes the beauty, I believe. Now you can collaborate with all kinds of business stakeholders and IT stakeholders to align on the future process. You can move boxes, you can say what legal requirements or what regional requirements we're having, you can create process variants. And in the end, what you're doing, you have to approve it. So all the business process owners or project managers or whoever needs to be involved collaboratively approves. I have a huge customer in Germany who follows a rigid governance in their massive transformation project. Only approved processes are allowed to be implemented. Why? Because else we just have a mess in our target system if we have any kind of transport and nobody knows anymore what's inside. So you can comment digitally, you can work physically on processes, and you can design the target state. You could even simulate process changes. So in our case, the best practice process told us, hey, we can use an AI bot to automatically convert purchase requisitions into purchase orders. We could also use a Fiori or a prediction. So you could now even simulate before you implement what consequence, cost this might have. Now, let's go to the architecture point of view. How do we want to work in the future? When it comes to architecture roadmap planning, we leverage, also as Raj mentioned, the reference business architecture from SAP. So in our case, for operational procurement, the capability, we can drill down into the fact sheet and NIX, go to transformations, and that's a beauty, especially for the IT stakeholders here in the room. We can get recommendations based on our deployment decisions, suggested solutions, what we should use, or what SAP solution capabilities we can leverage in order for this capability to work. Either if it's public cloud or if you have a hybrid deployment, you get suggested SAP solutions. You now do a roadmap planning, you create so-called initiatives, and you manage proactively from an IT perspective also these projects. Well, now imagine we have process changes. And we have gaps between how we are working today and how we want to work in the future. Now with the help of WalkMe, you want to prepare the go-live. You want to prepare your end users. So WalkMe provides an overlay of the final application to guide my end users how to run it. And therefore, WalkMe, to have a fast adoption of WalkMe, leverages also accelerator packages, so digital adoption accelerators. And now we look for purchase order. We can find, there is something existing that we can adopt. We see the tasks. We want to create a purchase order that is in scope. We define our backend system, and then we implement this digital adoption accelerator. And we now can define where do we want our end users to have smart chips, walkthroughs, automations happening in the final application here in SAP to manage purchase orders. This is what we can do with WalkMe. I will show it later. But it doesn't stop here. As I said, what we have defined, we now want to hand over into implementation, right? And this is also a typical breaking point I see in Europe. And here what we want to do is, the target designs that we have created, we now want to hand over into our application lifecycle management solution. And the application lifecycle management solution is the solution to operationally run the design and the implementation of your transformation project or the solution. Here we have an integration with SAP Cloud ALM, so we can synchronize now this process design or this process chart that we have aligned with the business and make it now visible in SAP Cloud ALM, that my IT teams, the solution delivery at KaarTech, is using. They can now attach their business requirements, user stories, tasks, edit, all to the same process that we have synchronized. And now they can start customizing, implementing, developing, transporting into your relevant system. This is what SAP Cloud ALM or SAP Solution Manager is used for. Well, we could also do more. We have the integration between the two tools, so we don't provide you with 3 distinct tools, but they are also integrated with each other, WalkMe, Dynamics, and Signavio. And let's go a bit further. Back in Signavio here, we also wanted to create a process variant, because we did it for procurement of direct materials at the top. But hey, we also need a process for procurement of non-productive materials. And because this is a critical process, we want to make sure that our end users know how to run the process. We cannot only see and attach where we have WalkMe content applied as an overlay, but we can simply click on it and then jump into to see the in-app guidance that is leveraged in this process, to have this connection as well. So how does it look like if you roll out in-app guidance? This would be managed purchase orders Fiori app in SAP S/4HANA. Wouldn't it be great that I, as an end user, is guided what to do, especially after go live? Well, with WalkMe, that acts as an overlay, you can decide what is important and how to guide your end users. You can ask, is this purchase order for production materials or non-production materials? I click on non-production materials. Is it a catalog item? Did I check it or not? No, I checked the catalog, it's not in there. So here, now I'm guided what I need to fill in, and I can even leverage smart automations that fill in specific fields based on my role that I have in the business. Because they know I'm purchasing organization 1710. It's my role of a purchaser. Yeah? So I can pre-fill information. I become more efficient, and it's easier for me to go through it. I only have to select the supplier, and the system tells me, don't forget to select the supplier. I put in the relevant supplier, and now it starts asking me, select the PO items. And now it even helps me to fill in the specific line items into the system. AI functionality even helps me to provide suggestions of what to fill in into PO notes. A lot is done for me. And now there's one point. Now we are switching applications because we are creating a purchase order that is above the PO limits. And for a specific material category, we have to create an asset tag. Oof. Where is this asset tag? What do I need to do in service now to create an asset tag? With WalkMe, you can automatically jump into it, and even you can get pre-filled fields based on your previous configuration you did. So I hope you see that I'm a new user after go live and I really don't know what to do. Walk me as an in-app guidance can help me to be safe and sound and easier to use any application. With the idea to really create technology adoption. And this is actually what the lady I talked to yesterday was really looking for. Ariba adoption was low, because the users, I think, simply didn't know what they need to do in the new solution. And half an hour or 1 hour training might not be sufficient. So let's dive in. All right. After go live, it doesn't stop. It's a transformation capability. It's an infinity loop, right? So as also Raj said, we want to prove that we realized value. And for this, you have to measure again, right? With LeanIX, you can provide your CIO the transparency. How did my application landscape change? What are the next initiatives? Where should we focus on now next? And we could see, for example, based on a time classification, so what applications to tolerate, invest, migrate, eliminate, and we are doing good. So we really focused our efforts in those applications we want to tolerate and invest in. We even can plan now roadmaps, new enterprise architecture initiatives within MENA to provide transparency to all stakeholders. And it also doesn't stop here in the process space. Here, we also continuously measure now, how is our process performing now? We said we are going to implement now automations. Is the process now really faster? Is it now really less manual? We can measure it with the help of scenario or any other kind of process analysis solutions. Well, we can still see that the change rate and the non-conformance rate are quite low. So I guess you understand, we already have something to do for tomorrow, where to focus on next. So, wrapping up, I hope you saw, this is what I mean when talking about the transformation capability. It really becomes your new operating model for transformation. So we are moving from underestimating the impact of people to really make it a people-centric, people-first transformation. We want to connect business and IT so they work together instead of in silos. We also want to leverage data-driven insights in all dimensions to really provide transparency, clarity, and prioritization, where to focus on during the transformation projects. We also gain an AI-enabled visibility and planning to really provide clarity. And ultimately, we are creating an organization that is future-built and ready for the change for tomorrow. This is how we at SAP, to see it in a holistic way across those 4 dimensions, will, from my perspective, really, it's the foundation to make your transformation, digital transformation, or any transformation or continuous improvement project successful. So I hope you see how all the things are coming together. Also now how SAP can support you within solutions that are tightly integrated also in the vision to value framework of KaarTech. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day with all the other sessions that are going to come. I'm here if you have any kind of questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. Robert, just a minute at the stage. Thank you, Shahid, Mr. Raj, and Mr. Robert. I would like to welcome Mr. Shahin Shah to the stage to felicitate our SAP partner speaker, Mr. Robert Yuflan. Welcome to the stage, Shahin Shah. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Shahid. So as we move ahead, it's time for a short networking break. Please take this opportunity to refresh and connect with your peers. We will resume promptly at 11:10 a.m. And we are welcoming everyone for that fireside chat with our CEO by 11:10 a.m. Please be here promptly. Thank you, everyone.
यूट्यूब ओपन फोन ले यूट्यूब ओपन பண்ணு think it's not going to be because instead of just insurance, so it will be covered. I don't know the cost, but I believe it's that's what I specifically. So I would kind of think it could be some private school. Because yesterday I have paid 1,000. They have the just a plug it. See how is this affected? So it will be sorted out, inshallah. I trust you. I really appreciate you. I know it's hard. Yeah, and if it's not possible, maybe if you can just specifically upgrade my package. Yes, yes. I would like to disturb something, but I want kind of commitment that I will do. Whether it's this is I know what I will do. It's Phoenix. Using me here and here. Yeah, I have 300.
Also, sparkling water.
That's it. Yes. Yeah, and it's not because these are only differences. We think that we are on your first. Because our standards are Plans are there.
Good morning, everyone. Requesting everyone to please settle in as we have to start the session. Submit. Dear dignitaries and all the guests, really welcome you here and request you to come to your places. For the people seated, really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. For the others, hope you had a great break and some snacks and some tea. Requesting everyone to support and coming and settling down. May I request the people from KaarTech please support and get the dignitaries inside the venue, please? Yes, thank you. We'll give it another 10 minutes and then we will start the session. As you can see around, there are a couple of guests who are yet to join us. So please have a patient wait for about 10 minutes and then we will start the session. Thank you. Hello all. Good morning, everybody. Respected dignitaries, esteemed guests gathered here, we're absolutely happy to have you here. This is Bernita, a delivery manager at KaarTech, and I'll be your MC for the rest of the day. It's a nice time having all of you here, and I'm super thrilled what awaits us next. Let's have a quick recap, shall we? Hope you enjoyed the deep dive on the vision to value framework that will ensure your vision is converted into something that is tangible and into the best of the business growths and transformations. Something about the incremental business value that we heard from Mr. Robert, and about the process enhancements, also about the importance of business continuity and handling internal growth barriers. Importance of keeping up with the newer technologies and approaching rightly to handle the transformation challenge. Awareness and capabilities of Signavio, LeanIX, and WalkMe. So I believe this was the recap of what we had in the morning session, and we cannot wait for what is yet to come. So here we are. Welcome back, everyone, to the exciting and interactive session of the day, Fireside Chat with our CXOs, where we bring leaders together to discuss transformation journeys, opportunities, and lessons. It is my great pleasure to welcome Maren N., CEO of KaarTech, a visionary leader and the driving force behind Car Technologies. Since founding KaarTech in 2005, Maren has built more than just a company. He has created a legacy of innovation, excellence, and meaningful impact in the digital era. Guided by his core values of fairness, innovation, inclusivity, and equal opportunity. Maren has nurtured an organization that delights customers, empowers employees, and fosters trusted partnerships around the world. Today, we are especially honored that Maren has traveled all the way from the United States to join us and personally engage with our valued customers and partners and to share his vision to the future of technology, digital transformation, and AI-driven innovation. Under his leadership, KaarTech has become a trusted partner for businesses seeking transformation, combining expertise, innovation, and purpose-driven growth. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Maren N. Up next, we will hear from leaders across industries and countries who will share their insights on driving innovation and growth in today's digital landscape. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Rakan Al-Qutaishan, Chief Information Officer, Saudi Aramco Total Refining and Petrochemical Company, SATOR, with a career spanning in Saudi Aramco, SAMA, and Sipchem. He has been shaping SATOR's digital future since 2013, admired as both a visionary leader and an inspiring mentor. We're having a pleasure to have you, sir. And it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Yaqub Al-Hatali, Head of Information Technology, Energy Development, Oman. From Dalil Petroleum to Asas, Oman, and tech entrepreneurship, he has always been at the forefront of innovation, today leading digital transformation in Oman's energy sector. Welcome, sir. Up next, let us welcome Mr. Mohammed Al-Yusuf, General Manager, Product and Solutions from National Center of Government Resources, NCGR, where he drives Saudi Arabia's digital government vision, a key force behind EDIMAD, the e-marketplace, and AI-led initiatives. He continues to advance Vision 2030 through smarter, integrated e-services. Welcome, sir. Over to you, Maran. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Am I audible? Yes. Super. Good morning and greetings to all of you. I hope you are enjoying the day until this point. And I keep it the same way for the next 1 hour as well. This is Maran, founder CEO of KaarTech, and this is absolutely a pleasure to be meeting with all of you. And thank you to the dignitaries here, Mr. Yusuf, Mr. Yaqub, and Mr. Khan. It's absolutely a pleasure that they have agreed to join us here to share their insights. There has been an excellent session thus far. You see, KaarTech has been operating in this geography for almost 20 years. In this 20 years, we have seen the transformation of the Middle East. The journey of this GCC countries has been phenomenal. I always say, the transformation of the geography precedes the organizations. And that's what has been happening in this last 2 decades. And as Shahin Shah mentioned in the morning, the East is the new West. The center of gravity of the world is moving towards East. Of course, there's a strong global order reshaping which is happening as we speak. So we're all witnessing the same. So the transformation of this geography in this past 2 decades has been phenomenal. And one thing which I've observed in these years is, after I moved to Houston, the appetite, the aspiration, the drive to embrace technology and being in the new frontiers of the change has been enormous. The kind of vision which the leadership of this whole country and the geography has put together is phenomenal. You hardly get to see this elsewhere. The energy is very palpable. The strong energy of this geography really inspires people. And this is what is changing the narrative of the global order. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the cusp of something big transformation happening globally. And KaarTech is here to support the enterprises and the public services in terms of how to participate in this transformation journey. Even before we have taken off on the digital transformation, which we all embraced or embracing as we speak, the AI is coming at us like a tsunami. We do not know what the whole future of AI is going to do to us. So it is exciting for all of us to know how and what the digital transformation means and what the journey of AI is going to do. Who else can we hear about all this except from our great leaders, great CXOs who have managed large programs and who are managing large programs and who carry vision and carry a lot of experience. Who else but to share all those information to us? I'm excited about this conversation with all of you. Really looking forward to learn more in this session. Before we commence, I will just make a common question. So before I hand it over, I'll also request you to, of course, we introduced you, but a mini brief introduction about yourself so that all of us can remember you and the people can take away there's a strong imprint of you as a person would be good. See, all of you are leading the digital transformation right now, and they're leading with it, and it is not a one-time event. It is a constant process, and this is a journey that we all go through. Gone are the days where there is something called as a big transformation, there's nothing forever. Today, every year we are transforming. We heard that from Robert in the BTM session. How do we incrementally keep on transforming? So, what does this transformation mean to you personally? What are the various, what kind of technology priorities you're bringing to yourself? And what do you think in the next 2 to 3 years that you really want to take your organizations in the form of the digital transformation? So maybe I'll start with Mr. Rakan. Over to you.
digital transformation, like what you said, it's a journey. It's not a project. It's not a program. So it's a journey. Start with ambition and vision from the top management, from the shareholder of the organization, and should be cascaded down all the way to the shop floor. So this is the start of the digital transformation journey. I always say the ambition and the vision always come from the management, from the top management. But the roadmap, building a digital transformation roadmap, should come from the top. So if you don't get the buy-in from the shop floor workers, with the ambition and the vision, then they are ending nowhere in the digital transformation. And it will be just noise, and maybe for the show off, for the sake of the show off, you can show it off in the media, but you will not feel and teach the transformation. So, transformation, I think most of the organizations start already building their digital transformation roadmap, or they are on the way. But from my understanding of the digital transformation, how to engage such a digital transformation after 2 or 3 years from now, because we can see the transformation reflected in the shop floor workers of the organization. No matter what is the organization, it's government agency, manufacturing company, banking, whatever. If the shop floor worker, people doing that normal daily activity, they're doing everything the same as before digital transformation, then it's complete failure. No matter how it's shown in the media and the reporting, because this is I know that definitely for all the initiatives that should be tagged with value. That will be gauged and measured as you go on the journey. But the main value, as I can see in my point of view, is how it's reflected to the day-to-day workers. If they reflect this ambition and vision, then I believe the transformation is in the right way, in the right track.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akram. Yeah, that's a beautiful summary, because the vision has to be experienced by the last layer of the organization, which is the ground force of the workers. If they don't experience it, it's useless. Beautiful, very well said. But before I go to the next person, I also have to congratulate Mr. Rakam on the personal transformation that he has achieved before implementing the business transformation in the company. Mr. Rakam has shed 25 kilos of weight in the past 8 months. I'd like to give him a big round of applause for him.
They have bad experience. Any gain, wait. Inshallah, I will continue in the journey, transformation journey. Thank you for highlighting this.
Thank you. So I think the more I eat kunafa, sustaining is difficult. But
sweets.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Rakam. Mr. Yaqub, again on the same topic of the digital transformation, what's your vision for the next 2 or 3 years, and what's the technology priorities, and what has been your experience?
Thank you very much. First of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Honestly, I'm amazed by the hospitality that since last night we arrived here in this lovely country, Jeddah specifically, and also the warm welcome we received from KaarTech. We arrived at the same time, so I'm impressed also how this family is growing. And I think we all share and we believe that networking is more than a value for us. It's really helped us to learn from each other, inspire, and also know more how others are doing rather than restrict our specific way of looking at things. So we've been discussing this, I think, last 2 months with Abu Yusuf in this Umar. This vision, it started with why not to have this kind of gathering, or let's have this kind of collaboration in our team. So from vision to realization, it was the fastest ever project that I have seen. Within a month or two, we are here at this stage. So for me, it's well done, KaarTech. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And inshallah, next summit, I humbly wish, I welcome you all in Oman and Muscat. It's your second country. So, شرفونا جميعا, inshallah. Thank you. So, I will not say much, honestly. I was enjoying the discussion. The first by KaarTech, by Robert from SAP. I will try to pick what they say about the transformation. We are not bringing something new. When you talk about transformation, we try to remove the hassle behind the word digital. Because people, when they talk about digital transformation, immediately say, oh, it is all about digital. It's not about digital. Now it's all about business transformation. We have to transform our businesses. Technology is changing, and it's changing more than ever we have experience, especially with the pandemic, with many things going at a very fast pace. I think we cannot cope up with that. If you look at this technology, how it's changing the way we do things, we do work, our kids are being changed with this one. I cannot cope with them how they use the technology. Yeah, when for me, if I want, for example, when I want to search about something, it was only the parents or the I have to search. Now we have a ChatGPT, and the way he used the ChatGPT is different than I use it. I was just asking him to answer to me. He used it when I sometimes my 9-year-old son, how to use it. I will go and see the way he taught ChatGPT. I was so impressed. I learned from him. Besides talking to his friends, the way they interact, the way he gave him, the way he answered, it was for me a surprise. How come he can get this value out of the same tool that I am using, but because of his mindset's being changed, the way I came, so it was different. So digital transformation is not about digital projects. It's how we can transform our business, and we have to transform. There is no way around it. Either we like it or we don't like it. The more we resist, they say, the more our issue will persist. So there's no way around it. Second, what I have noticed, because I've been in the oil and gas for almost a decade, more than a decade now. I start with the manual things where we get all the data from the fields. Then we start with a smart oil field, digital oil field, connected oil fields. I don't know how many operation excellence within, but at the same, all of those, they have a shared common things. Even now when we are talking about digital transformation, we talk about people, process, and technology. That three triangle always the same. But also, yeah, this is what I also echo from the team behind me. They gave us that insightful talk that we should not only focus on technology, we should focus on people, make it or break it. I like the presentation on ROI. If we, for example, by Robert will share ROI on WalkMe, that to scale up people. It was the highest figure among all the others solution they have. For me, it was, yeah, people, because they are the strongest and the weakest link in any chain. So that, it means if we invest more on people and we focus more on people, it's going to have the highest impact, which I totally believe. Last but not least, I don't want also to take much of this one, because in energy development, Roman, we are a digitally native company in which we born on the digital era. So if we born on digital era, we will not have the legacy resistance or legacy culture change. No, we are facing new challenge, which for me, it was amazing. You know, because we are not dealing with a traditional way of doing a transformation project, rather than we are facing with a new challenge. Like, for example, people expectation. Because now, if you want to do anything, you have to not focus on your processes and the technology you are going to have, rather than what is the expectation. Because that's what's going to fight. And also, what if I can echo, what if we need to start with why, rather than with what? So the end result, also the outcome, you need to start with that. I like what I like the Simon Sinek, he said, start with why, and then go later on to what for the if you do it the vice versa, I think here you could mess up with things around. So for us, or for me at least personally, those three categories, if I can define it in what that digital transformation means to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Yaqub. You remarked about the hospitality in the beginning, right? We learned it from this geography. If not from here, where would have we learned this? This is something that we have really learned, and if you don't imbibe that, this geography is known for its hospitality. People are known for its hospitality. People are absolutely known for their warmth and embracing. So if you don't learn from here, well, it's to go. So thank you. I should thank for this geography for that. And again, I think you beautifully pointed out to the people centricity. You talked about the learning from your daughter. It's very true. The Gen Zs today, I remember preparing a PowerPoint presentation for 1 week when it was 20 years ago. Today, 20 minutes is too much for a PowerPoint presentation. 2 minutes, you give a prompt, and then you give a 20-slide. Beautiful presentations. So, yeah, we are learning from the Gen Zs and the Gen X all the time. So it's a very exciting time. And your point on people centricity, it's beautiful. You have to put people in the center of the journey, and that's what truly matters. Thank you, Mr. Jacob. Appreciate it. Mr. Yusuf, we'd like to hear from you about your view on the digital transformation and what it means to you and your vision for the next couple of years. Over to you.
طيب السلام عليكم جميعا صباح الخير. First, thank you, Mr. Maran, for hospitality and for inviting us. We are very glad to be here. Again, when I first came to the lobby of the hotel, Mr. Maran pointed out that I have lost some weight. You are a very observant guy. I didn't notice it. And I think this is exactly what happens to digital transformation. Right now, we are living it. We are in the middle of it. We don't notice a lot of things that's happening around us. Let's go in time 15 years back, 20 years back. Imagine the process of issuing your passport, your driving license, your ID, opening a commercial registration. How was the process? And I remember watching one video. The crowd is trying to get into one of the passport authority, and look at it now. A couple of weeks back, I renewed my passport. I renewed it when I was having dinner. As simple as that. Couple of clicks, I have my passport renewed, and couple of days I have it delivered at home without any kind of hassle that I used to previously. So back to your questions, Mr. Maran, it was threefold. Number one, what digital transformation means, what are the challenges, and what is our roadmap. Basically, digital transformation to me is a disruption that is a must, and it's happening whether we like it or not. Whether we disrupt or to be disrupted, it's something that happening whether we like it or not. So digital transformation is not only about technology, and most of the people think it's all about technology, tool, applications, etc. But that is a very small part of it. I think digital transformation is more of re-engineering the way we are working. And that might lead me to the AI part, but I will leave it for the next part of the session. It's how can we harmonize our process? How can we make sure that our processes are leading to our company vision or organizational vision? It's about how can we make our life easier. I like the simplicity in digital transformation rather than saying the big words that sometimes confuses people. How can we make our life easier? The example of the passport is a very good example to me. It's made our life easier. Regarding the second part of transformation is the challenges of transformation mostly happens with people and change management. People are a creature of resisting the change. We are people of we are used to do something in a certain way. Once a new way comes, we will resist this by nature. This is our nature as a human being. So how can you lead a huge digital transformation across multiple organizations or within your organization how can you influence all those people to drive and ride with you within your vision or with organizational vision? I think this is the most critical part of the transformation. The second part of the challenges is the business base versus the technology base. I believe the business dreams or the business wishes is coming at much faster rate than the technology can offer and provide. So I think this is one of the huge challenges that any transformation can cope up with. So that drives me to the third questions. What is my technology priority for the digital transformation? Basically, how can I increase the base of digital transformation and fulfill the business need and requirement and making the life of our customer much easier? So basically, this is the answer of those three questions. And thank you, Mr. Mahar.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think this experience has been transformative, not only for the passport, as you mentioned, also for expats. When you transit the airports, oh my God, the transformation has been phenomenal. What used to be taking hours is now not even minutes. Sometimes it's in seconds that you're out of the plane and then you're out to the carousel. So you're right. Putting simplicity. How do we harmonize? How do we put the simplicity and make the process easy for the people? And how do we deliver that kind of an experience to the customer? Thank you. I think those are the key points, and that helps the transformation journey. Thank you. And we started from the right to left, like Arabic. Now from English, we'll go left to right. So we'll shift between English and the Arabic. So again, the question back to you. See, today the Saudi government is going through one of the largest public sector initiatives, digital initiatives. They call it UGR, Government Resource Planning, Unified Government Resource Planning. This is the most ambitious program I've ever seen from the government globally. That is the kind of massive vision today. 400 plus different entities of the government, all being brought under a single platform. It's a massive, massive vision of what the government has put together. So what I really want to understand from you is how this massive program, and with also the money commitment from the leadership of, let's say, 20 billion is being committed for AI. Now, how do you intend to deliver this kind of value, and what this AI means to you in this journey of UGR for you, Mr. Yusuf?
All right, so I'm afraid that once we come to the Japanese language, I will start from top down.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I will try to synergize the two questions together, and I think AI will help us in delivering this vision. So I will start from the second question, which is AI. Most of the things that we are doing today as a human being, AI will take a big part of executing it in a very governed way, in a very good systematic way. The program of UGR, right now we are trying to roll it out at speed and at scale. And we have more than 500 entities in the government that need to be brought under this one umbrella. The effort to do such things it's humongous, it's massive. So from change management point of view, from alignment point of view, from process harmonization point of view, imagine all those entities today are working in a certain way, and we are trying to change the way they are working. And we are trying to harmonize and centralize all of those processes. It's not an easy job, it's a huge job, but it will be done inshallah. AI will be our helpers, will be our minions in delivering such vision. Yes, for example, and I would like to give a very small example now. Now we are trying to capitalize on AI. How can we start configuring the company codes in SAP, for example? How can we configure the company codes for different entities using AI rather than functional consultants sitting in their desks and doing all the configuration? We would like to adapt and use AI to enable us and to help us delivering this vision. But here is a challenge. It's a new technology, it's a new landscape. How can we embed it? I think there are a lot of questions to be asked and a lot of answers to be given and provided. But eventually we're going to reach to the goal that we have set for ourselves, and we will always keep the bar high to achieve our goals.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Yusuf. I think here is a case where the leadership is at a speed, technology is at a speed, and the job at hand is the volume of scale. So I think the biggest challenge that you're holding on in your hands, I think. So very exciting moments. Thank you. Mr. Yaqub, to you. Just now, being the parent organization of the entire energy organization of the Sultanate of Oman. Now, recently you went through a transformation journey, and you have a baby, which is an organization which is bigger than you, which is a massive organization, PDO, that's what I call it, a big baby. So now you are going to embark on the business transformation journey for the PDO as well. Now, what has been your journey about the transformation? We are happy to hear about that.
Thank you very much. The way you articulate this is so correct, it's so precise, because being as a holding group where it is younger than your son, it's not an easy journey. If you want to digitalize or transform where your son is older than you, much older than you, we're talking about 60, 70 years older than you, it's not a joke. So the way how we look at it, we put, for example, SAP at our cornerstone for this transformation. And if we want to answer the why in this case, for us, we want to have a connected subsidiaries underneath the holding group. So the connection and integration part is at our heart of our transformation. With that, we need to improve our decision making. So if we invest, for example, on those technologies, we are improving our decision making process. See, the data at any organization, at least for us, is the most valuable assets after the human capital. Of course, we will not deny the human capital is the first asset that we have and the most valuable one. After that, the data. The more you can manage those data effectively, the more value you will realize. And this is what's the ultimate goal for any transformation, how we can generate value by reshaping our business model and so on. So improving the decision making, then gaining our stakeholder trust. That was also another key element within our journey. To be an orchestrator in any sector, you need to manage bottom up and top down. So that's not an easy role you need to play. So all of those elements need to be planned very well whenever you are designing your digitalization journey and the decision that you want to make going forward on this journey.
Thank you. Fantastic. So you're saying how you treat your data and how you treat your stakeholders, managing the stakeholders from top to bottom is becoming the key process in terms of any transformative journey. Is the takeaway. And becoming the ChatGPT somebody there. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yaqub. And to you, Mr. Kaar. See, Sator being one of the largest downstream programs of the whole kingdom, and also in one of the large complexes. Now, sustainability becomes a very, very key topic in the whole game. So, I know you have an AI strategy and there is a future AI vision you're putting together. So, how do you see the AI delivering value? Is it purely on the sustainability, or it's on the emissions, or it's on the refining, or it is on the workforce, or is it what kind of experience you intend to enhance, and what kind of difference you intend to make? Over to you. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay, good. When talking about AI, we have different type of AIs. Definitely AI will add value wherever it places. It places in the sustainability domain, or in the availability, also in the workforce management. So I think in all domains will add value. But you need, first of all, you need to understand that sustainability is not an option, even for energy company and oil and gas companies. Now it's become part, one pillar of the government strategy and the Vision 2030. And already I think His Highness the Prince Mohammed announced a program on sustainability, and there's some clear objective, which is reflected also in all the organizations, including the energy and oil and gas. So, and sustainability, when it comes to the energy, is not an easy job, because understand now I'm have good experience in the lithium and petrochemical and the oil and gas industry. It's very complicated. Yes, the final product is very clear. You think it's not like the other domains of the industry where you just drill and you get the product. No, there's a very long and lengthy process. I hope you know this also. The idea now is how can you improve the entire ecosystem to get this result. Okay, so whatever improvements you put anywhere, it will be reflected in the business. For example, energy is a very hot topic in energy, especially the power consumption and the water consumption and material consumption. Those are very hot topics in our domain. So the more you optimize energy consumption and you do better energy management, the better, the less carbon emission you have, and the more you can sustain your complex and the environment. So this one just one small dimension, one small factor. You can imagine how other factors will also contribute in sustainability. So just to make it simple, I don't want to make it very lengthy. So digital transformation programs have many pillars, many initiatives, many domains, and they are all contributing at the end of the day to improve sustainability and improve availability of the facilities. So, but back to the AI, what's the contribution of the AI here? AI, it's another layer on top of different layers. So my colleagues here talk about the people, the process, and the data. So if you don't have the three triangles built and established very well, and especially the data, because you can think of the AI agents as a human. At the end of the day, we need, like for example, a CEO or a manager, our executive management. So at the end of the day, to take the proper decision, you need clean data, proper data, and specified and organized data. So I think one of the main pillars of the digital transformation is to build the data platform, to have a clean data platform, and to do the good integration between the different platform and system. Because we are not only running one system, we are running more than 50 plus systems. And imagine bringing all this system together and building this data layer on top of them. It's not an easy job. So this is the first preparing the data for the AI. Once you have the clean data for the AI, classified data, well maintained, then you you can build the AI model on top of that to serve the different purpose, sustainability, availability, productivity of the people. So we have many different pillars, but at the end of the day, AI without good and mature data layer is just a waste of time.
Absolutely. Very, very well said, Mr. Khan. I think you can have grandeur vision on AI. If those grandeur vision is not backed with an organizational data platform underneath, it's all useless. You can try to derive value on sustainability, you can try to derive value on workforce, you can try to derive value everywhere, but it's not going to happen because there is no data. I think that's a very deep insight. Thank you so much for that insight, Roshni. And now we are, instead of reversing, we will go circle. But no Japanese, we are going up and down, but we go circle. To you, Mr. Yusuf, again. See, even in a small program, change management, adoption, as you mentioned, the resistance, all these are so high. But in a program of such a scale, how are you dealing with this change management part? How are you dealing with how are you really giving this transformative change to your consumers and customers? So can you share some insights there?
All right, so I think this is a very good question. Enablement, support from leadership is very important pillar for the change management. As there is a vision to drive this program and to move forward with it and to achieve the goals that we are intending to achieve, and there is support from the top management and from the leadership, everything will go as smooth as possible. Resistance is natural. Dealing with the resistance and dealing with the change management is the key to the success. Building the right governance, building the right framework to deal with such thing is the key to success. Building the right organization to deal with this is the key to success. So it's change management, how you manage that change. So the resistance is happening and the change is happening. How you will manage this in an organized, systematic, studied way is the very important thing that you need to do in order to ensure smooth delivery and smooth realization of the objective that we are intending to do. So if I can put it in a bullet points, enablement, support, and right governance and organization. Those are the points that you need to do to ensure smooth change management and smooth delivery for a transformation that needs to take place.
Thank you, Mr. Yusuf. So you are saying that governance framework is critical to manage the change. Can I say it that way?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. So how do you deal with this? How do you establish this governance framework so that the change resistance does not derail your program, does not derail your schedules, does not derail your mission, right? So the governance framework is a very critical element, is what I take on.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Mr. Yaqub, again on the EDO journey. See, again, there is a very famous saying which says, culture can eat strategy for breakfast, they say. Which means you can have a lovely strategy, you can have a lovely PowerPoint, you can have a lovely presentation, vision, all that you can have. But if you're not working on the culture, you've got nothing done. So, what's your experience on this topic, and how did you navigate, and how do you deal with that? And what's your experience on this?
I cannot agree more with this Raka famous saying, strategy eat the culture of the breakfast. It's so true, and we could realize it. I will echo also what my colleague Yusuf say, that the resistance is part of the human being. This is how we are wired. This is how we, as a human being, we react. What we have learned is the first stage of resistance is there is no resistance. So this is the hardest stage that to detect there is a resistance. And if something you cannot detect or you cannot measure, you cannot see, then you cannot achieve. So for us, how to detect that early warning if there is a resistance, I cannot say more about what the formula Yusuf is mentioning, how you can hand it down, translate it to the even Rakan, what he said to the people on the ground. Engaging people definitely is going to help, but leveling up people or skilling up people, this is what I have wrote the note today from the previous session from KaarTech and Robert as well, is at the top priority. We need to scale up people because this is for me is level 0 of resistance. You cannot detect the resistance. Because of what? People, they cannot resist something they don't know. Exactly. So for that, we need first of all to scale them up, to make sure they understand. And the resistance could be visible. Then I can deal with it. But if the resistance is not visible, I cannot deal with something I cannot see. I cannot measure. So yeah, leveling up or scaling up people, this is a core. So that's why what we have started, we invested on technologies. At the same time, or in parallel, we are investing on people. We need to scale them up going forward. Then you need also to align that with your business strategy, because employee, what on it for them if it is not clear, and how going this chain going to support them to realize their goals or their business objectives. If you cannot say what on it for them, it's not going to happen. You need to forget it. So you have to have that alignment clearly explained for each and every individual if you want them to push it. Having said that, if for example, you are planning for a new initiatives, and what we have seen also going forward, especially when you are at a holding group, the resistance will not come for an individual, it will come for a collective individual from a different subsidy. So that by itself, it's another challenge there. But believe it or not, if you break it down, it will be to individual levels. Everything going to be back to individual, where again you have to do your homework, again you have to do work, you have to convince each and everybody on the achieve. If you cannot achieve that, so nothing can be achieved. So yeah, this is how we can.
Fantastic. So you have to level up to spot where the resistance is. Then you can work on it. And you're saying always it looks like a collective, but it's always an individual who's resisting. So you need to figure out what is the takeaway for them. If you're not able to articulate what is the takeaway for them, the change is not going to happen. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacob, for explaining that. Yeah. And Mr. Rakan, see, you have run many projects, you have driven a lot of transformations. How do you measure the outcomes? Is there any outcomes that you have been able to measure or deliver in terms of the transformation programs? If there is a project that you have delivered like that, we're happy to hear about that example.
Right, definitely, apart from the, as I mentioned in the beginning, the tag value for each initiative or project, because this is the major differentiator between the ordinary automation, classical automation program that we had before, and the digital transformation. So from day one, with each initiative, each project should be tagged with the outcome and the value. But this is very important. Before you start the program or the project, you agree with the proponents and the sponsor of the program on the value, the generated value, the expected value. So once you finish, you're done or implemented the solution technology, then you can gauge and measure the value and monitor the utilization. So this is one part. The other part is, like what my colleague said, the engagement of the people, awareness of the people, level of knowledge and experience of the people. So, and that's why we establish, because one of the major issues that we face, and myself, I guess it personally, when people think digital transformation is in technology projects, or it's just for the technology people, the CIO, the chief digital officer, this is really a big challenge. I think this is the first resistance most of the people face in the beginning. So how to get a buy-in from different functions within the organization. And so the first thing we started is to establish cross-functional, we call them digital champion, from cross-functional, from different departments, from all the domains, HR, operation, finance, maintenance, safety, and we are training those people, and we are engaging them in what we call, we established a digital academy, utilizing some of the online platform, but also we do some in-class sessions. We made those champions in the Digital Academy, and we established already a curriculum for the Digital Academy from level 1, level 2, level 3. So the people, they work through all the levels, integrated change management and how to upskill the people. So, and we achieved very good progress in this, and because again, the first issue is you need to get a buy-in from people and avoid this mentality, which is very common mentality in many organizations. I hear from many other organizations, other colleagues, people, they always think it's a transformation, it's a technology project, IT project. So getting this cross-functional team, training them as a digital champion, because those people will be in the front force for all the cross departments. So, and they will cascade the knowledge and experience across different departments. So, and it's very important that you engage the people from other departments, non-technology people, in conducting sessions. We introduce what we call Basta Talk sessions. So anyone can please on this platform speak about any experience, digital experience. It could be a lesson, by the way. How to use Android or an iPhone, because even those tools are very powerful, by the way, to boost the productivity of the people. So we try to make it very easy. Come, please. This platform is open for everyone. Share whatever digital tips we have to the people. This is how we measure the success. And again, since the beginning, I think we all share here, my colleagues, concern about the people, how to get the people, how they ride on the digital transformation journey, and how to get the buy-in from them. This is the major, I believe, success measure for the digital transformation. Apart from also the other value realization, KPIs, and tag to the e-com. But again, at the end of the day, those numbers will mean nothing if you are not reflecting the transformation in the culture, in the people, in the shop floor. You can get very nice numbers, keep the management very happy, but when you go to the shop floor people, you will discover this. You cannot hide anything. This is how I see the success. The people, they are really transforming their activities, really increasing their productivity and improving their productivity, even using very simple tools that everyone is using it. This is the start of the transformation and generating the value of the transformation.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. I think that's a very good point. Creating a cross-functional teams and making them, bringing together and orienting them towards the outcomes, what they have to deliver. So that might be a powerful journey in terms of how to navigate the digital transformation. Thank you so much. Now, I think the prayer time is approaching, so I need to my colleague here and said, hey, can you close in 5 minutes? But nevertheless, the conversation is so good, it's continuing. I'd like to ask one simple question as a closure. There are so many people here from different corners and different businesses. What would be your one single piece of advice, takeaway, that you want to leave in their minds for the digital transformation?
I would simplify it even more. The different basic details. Always the different basic details. We are always looking at the transformation from 50,000 mile above. Everything is going fine. But if you go down to the ground and see how people are suffering, you will notice that there is big variation and big differences between what's being provided as number and as dashboard and what's really happening in the ground. So the advice that I would just give to our digital transformation program, make sure that your program is a track-free program, and make sure that you go down to the details and understand what's really going on. And the difficulty will be how can you prioritize what the details that really matter and what the details that could be postponed and it wouldn't have an impact. And I think this is a big challenge that a good leader should observe and make sure he can prioritize very well which would be the details that would matter and which would be the details that didn't matter. Because big transformation programs will have unlimited tracks. Where should be your focus? Where should be your effort? And what should be your priority? I think this is the key questions that need to be asked among yourself to understand and to answer them and to put the roadmap and to drive it to success.
Beautiful, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Yusuf. Devil is always in the detail. From the outside, it looks rosy. You double click, you always have a problem. And as you mentioned, there are infinite tracks in these kind of programs. There is too much of noise all over the place. So it's important to identify the priority and zoom in and fix them. Is the piece of advice you'd like to leave with you? Thank you so much, Mr. Yusuf. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Yaqub.
I was blessed, alhamdulillah, to work with different organizations, but the one that really make a difference, the way I look at things, is my entrepreneurship journey. And I learned one lesson during that journey that I spent as an entrepreneurship. Fail fast, fail forward. The faster you fail is the better. And that's what I'm back taking this advice to any organization I'm working. You could be operate as a giant, but operate as a startup. If you can embrace that concept, the startup concept within each and every organization, I think there you can survive going forward because the future is something unpredictable for each and every business, no matter what business you are. I've been discussing with the different businesses. They say we are stable, we open a branch where we increase the revenue. I say, no, digital branch is now no branch. So if you want to fail, my advice, just make it fast. This is the best. And make people at the center. I will echo what I have said initially, make the people at the center of each and every plan, transformation, strategy going forward. That's it.
Fantastic. Bringing that entrepreneurship flavor into the organization, that's very good. Fail fast. Fail fast so that, do experiment. That allows you to do experimentation. Fail fast, learn, and then keep changing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Yaqub. Mr. Rakan, one piece of advice to the fellow colleagues.
Okay, I feel like I will have two pieces. First, please, as it's advice for us also, my organization, myself, transform people before you transform the data, before you transform the process, before you transform the system. So please transform the people first. The second advice, as we are always talking about the transformation and about emerging technology, cutting-edge technology, you need to take risk. If you are not willing to take risk, you will not be transformed. So at the end of the day, it's not a 100% clear roadmap. This is a emerging technology, new technology. If you want to try whatever other people try, then you are not going for the cutting edge technology, you are going to the old technology. So if you want to be ahead in the race of the technology transformation, you need to take some risks. This is my advice. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khan. You're saying first transform the people and be willing to take a risk. I think it comes back to the same point you also mentioned, fail fast. If you don't risk, you don't know where you're going to fail. So that's a wonderful insight. I think this brings us to the end of this wonderful conversation we are having this far. And I cannot thank all of you enough. And each of you have traveled such intense journeys within your organizations and seen all those transformations in close quarters and lived through the pains, lived through the success, lived through all the pleasures and the failure moments. So we really appreciate this valuable sharing of those insights to the larger audience. And thank you so much for coming in and sharing it with us here. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah. Thank you, Maran, and our esteemed speakers with this joyful and impactful discussion. When leaders collaborate and come together, every discussion becomes insightful and every exchange becomes an opportunity to learn from one another. I now request Mr. Shahin Shah Abdul Bashir to kindly join us on the stage for a small felicitation ceremony to honor our respected speakers, Mr. Rakan Al-Utaishan. We would like to honor our respected speaker, Mr. Yaqub Al-Hatali. We would like to also felicitate our honored speaker, Mr. Mohammed Al-Yusuf. Thank you everyone for joining us today.
شكرا لكم الحضور الرئيسيين على تشريفكم هذا. شكرا لمشاركتكم التجارب القيمة في الميدان.
We request all the dignitaries to just stand for a quick photo op together. Dear guests, please place your seats at the audience, please. I now invite Mr. Amar Al-Mubarak to announce something very interesting on stage.
All right, Assalamu alaikum. Before we conclude, we have a call for you to listen. We have some interesting questions. We are eager to see your answers for them. I believe you have the QR on your table, so we really appreciate it. You can click and looking forward to hear your answers. Secondly, for the time constraint, if you allow us after these 10 minutes, we'll do the AI session, then followed with 5-hour prayer break, and then lunch. So,
Dear esteemed guests, we request you to please scan the QR and answer the questions, or you can interact as you wish. It will be an immense pleasure if you can do so. We'll give you a 10-minute timer and then we will start for the next session.
I think when everybody's going through this poll, ladies and gentlemen, before we move forward, let us complete this. And the KaarTech spots on each table, the volunteers on each table, please help the dignitaries if they are able to go through this. See, this is again, the summit is just not about sharing our perspectives, but it is about shaping the future together. That is why I wanted to take a feedback from you. And it will take less than 10 minutes, I'm sure you're all doing it. And these questions are still important, relevant, and pertinent. They cover where your organization stands today in AI and digital transformation, and what challenges you face, and where you see your priorities in the next few years. We value your inputs, and this collective inputs will give us a pulse of the region's digital priorities, and it will also help us curate discussions, sessions, and the solutions that are meaningful to you. Are we done? Please remember, your voice matters to us. I'm sure you will also think it as a chance to shape the conversation for today's 11th context. The poll will be open for the next 2 minutes. If you come and visualize anything.
Sorry, I had to I actually keep getting one.
Who are done with that? Prakash. All right, thank you for the support. I think most of the people are back to the board. Again, as I said, it will be open for 1 more minute. Thank you and appreciate your participation in answering those questions. Thank you.
I think you should meet with it. He's a senior manager. Let's go meet with
I hope that poll was interactive. Thank you for staying with us and really appreciate the entire team for supporting on completing the poll. I now thank everyone for your thoughts. It's inspiring to see the collective leadership perspective come alive in this room. Requesting all the KaarTech team members to please get the dignitaries who are outside so we can start for the next session. Requesting all to settle, please. People who are settled, thank you for the support as usual. But for the people who are outside or discussing, one is requesting because there's a very engaging and interesting session that's going to come up next. So, yes. All right. Thank you everyone for joining with us again. There is so much buzz about AI around the world. It's transforming industries, powering innovation, and appearing in ways we never imagined. Yet, with all this excitement, many questions remain. What is AI really capable of? How will it shape our work and lives? And what does the future hold for businesses and society? To help us untangle these questions and explore the path ahead, I'm excited to welcome once again Mr. Maran Nagarajan, our Global CEO of KaarTech, to deliver his keynote on the future of AI. Welcome, Maran.
Power. Video.
Thank you, Lalita. You're not getting rid of me yet. So here I am back with you in the mic. I will not take much of the time. This is one of the most difficult moments to be speaking to people. You know why? I'm the one holding you between your lunch. My speech is the one holding you from going to lunch. So I will not make it very difficult for you. I'll keep it simple. See, the idea is I'm going to spend the next 20-30 minutes conversing with you about the whole AI massive piece which we're talking about. We are in the cusp of something massive happening. Could we have ever imagined 25 years ago, pre-internet era, that we will be connected globally like this? It was beyond imagination. So what internet did to this world, AI will do 10 times that to us. So which means there is some massive event happening in the future, and we are all getting ready for that. Life is not going to be the same again. While having said that, there is also a massive hype cycle around AI. There is an enormous hype. There is a lot of hype which is being generated around AI. One of my colleagues, Shah, shared that 95% of the AI projects are failing, right? Because no clear outcomes have been defined. Just money is being committed. Some random games are commencing and then there is no outcomes getting created. So there is a hype cycle which is governing the AI as of now. Just to give you a data, in 2025 alone, close to $400 billion globally is getting invested in the data center space. $400 billion. Not globally, just in America. If you take the whole world, maybe we are talking about $500 to $600 billion worth of investments happening in the data center space. Now let me tell you, as a businessman, I clearly know what it means to make a capex. Whatever you spend in capex, there has to be a return on investment in 5 years, 7 years, in 10 years. If the return doesn't happen, what happens? The capex or the asset gets written off. Now, for this $500 to $600 billion of the data center capex investment happening right now, the world needs to pay at least $1 trillion between now and every year henceforth. That's the only way this capex can be justified. But we are far from that. The revenues happening in AI is not touched $1 trillion. It is in the likes of $20, $30 billion. So there is still a huge gap in the journey with respect to the revenues that has to be realized in data center space. What does this tell us? This is the same thing which happened in 2000 as well. Every company globally invested on fiber cables. You know, fiber optic cables, undersea cables. So there's a huge manufacturing capacity and investments on those optic cables. But many of them, post the .com, they went bankrupt. However, there's a huge benefit for the world. The entire world got the bandwidth so cheap because of that high capacity which got created. So there will be indirect benefits, there will be collateral damages, there will be failed projects, there will be failed capacities, but eventually it will help all of us to get to a better world. Can we all imagine without internet? Impossible. Similarly, there will come a day when we cannot live without AI. That's the kind of way it will engulf all of us. Having said that, I'll take another 5-10 minutes and talking about this whole stack of the AI. Because when you talk about AI, people are confusing many components which makes the AI. There is investments happening in data centers, there are investments happening in the GPUs, which is nothing but the graphical processing units of NVIDIA. There's a huge demand for it. There is a huge investment cycle happening. There are data centers getting built. Then the next layer on top of the chips and the GPUs. Now there is China coming in competition there with their TPUs. They call it tensor processing units. So there is a huge investments getting into that space as well. And the next layer that you have is your distributors or the foundational models, which we all call LLMs. The large language models, which are pre-trained to more than 500, 600 billion parameters. So that's what we call as the large language models. That is, again, lots of investments happening in that direction as well. The next layer on top of it is your distributors. Like, for example, Microsoft, AWS, they are continuously giving you a distribution of all of these LLMs for us to consume, including the Gemini, the Googles, and the Azures of this world. The next
layer, which we all need to understand, is about the business application layer agents we talk about. We talk about AI agents. So the entire AI agent layer, for example, every single application, whether it is an ERP or whether it is a CRM or it's a custom application that you have built, will have to turn into AI agents. That's the only way you can deliver result to the organization. This is only one part of it. In the future, there is also a prediction that most of the business applications will become headless. They call it as a headless applications. So which means you may not see them. They're all invisible behind the layers. They all will become AI agents to whom you interact invisibly. That's the kind of world we are evolving to. That is one layer. The next layer is also about the data. All the leaders whom we spoke to, they spoke about the data, how important it is. So this is another big world of data, which is your data warehouses, your data lakes, your data swamps, your lake houses. So there is enough terminology for the data. So all those becomes another big world which are going to become AI agents. The third big world for you within this AI stack is your unstructured data. How are you going to deal with your documentation? How are you going to deal with your SharePoint? How are you going to work on all the legacy files that you manage, legacy information that you gather, and all the unstructured data which is flowing in your organization all over the place? And then on top of it is your orchestration layer. If you don't have an orchestration layer, that is what we call as agentic AI layer. So the agentic AI will be your orchestration layer, which will also understand a complex task and break it down into multiple pieces and then call the individual AI agents and deliver you the work. So the organization needs to have a plan in terms of how do I put together my agentic AI layer. Then you have on top of it is your MCP, which is your context. They call it as model context protocol. Unless you teach the AI, what is the context? Who are you? What is your history? What are you allowed to do? What information you are allowed to access? If that context is not defined, that's where you have to define your MCP protocol and the model context protocol. Clearly, as a service, you need to define your context. So in your strategic direction, you need to think about handling this stack as well. And then on top of it is the last mile NLP, natural language processing deliverable, which is your ChatGPT or a work zone, or it is your Llama or Claude. There are so many different features. So this is the next layer which gets delivered, the last mile delivery. So from the top, if you take from one layer, each of these layers have multiple vendors. If you take an orchestration layer, you've got N3, and then you've got Bedrock, you've got within the Bedrock layer, long chain, long graph. So there are so many on each one of this layer. So the reason why I talk about all this AI stack is here to recommend a comprehensive approach starting from your last mile delivery to the bottommost data center compute layer. How are you envisaging? In the absence of that, there is a lot of point solutions evolving all over. Hey, there is a finance use case which we are delivering in AI. Hey, there is a purchase use case where we are delivering in UI. Yeah, there is a sales use case, there is a digital assistant, there is a sales assistant, there is a purchase assistant, there is a HR assistant. We are delivering lots and lots of point solution use cases, right? And that's happening right now as we speak. If you keep delivering this point solution use cases, eventually you're increasing the tech debt of the organization. Increasing the complexity of the organization. We are not simplifying, Mr. Simplicity. But the AI, the way we approach, instead of delivering value, it is becoming more complex. That is why 95% of the projects fail. Because we did not envisage the architecture.
We did not envisage all these multi-layers that we need to solve before you can approach them. Or we need to have a vision. Now, every business application out there is not going to become obsolete. Every business application, for example, if you as a leader are going to ask the ChatGPT in your whole organization, you don't want simply your team's search engine to deliver you. Today, the ChatGPTs and the co-pilots of the organization is not more than search engines. They're mere search on top of your team, search on top of your mails, search on top of your SharePoint, search on top of this. The AI last mile delivery is yet to evolve on combining your unstructured world and your data world and your structured CRUD operations, what we call as CRUD, which is your business applications, create, record, update. So unless these three worlds come together, the whole architecture is useless. So we need to have that kind of an imagination. Not only this, you also need to think about the tokenization. If you start consuming this Copilot and the LLMs infinitely, you literally will go bankrupt by paying these tokens. It's not infinite. The tokens come in the market, they are very expensive. So you also need to have a clear ROI thought process of tokenization. How much am I going to spend on the tokens? So it is important for you to also layerize this AI, LLMs. Can I have an SLM, small language model? Can I put an SLM internally? Why do I need a cloud or a copilot for everything? To research on my internal organization and give me a deliverable. So we need to also layerize that small language model with a large language model, with an intelligence. Where would I consume my SLM? Where would I consume my LLM? So the whole architectural thought process is extremely important. Now, every application of the legacy needs to have a fabric on top. So the enterprises need to put a fabric on top, the AI fabric. That's what we call as the ontology definition, which means your organization needs to be reflected as a digital twin in this fabric. In other words, if you're using an SAP ERP, I'll speak in your language. You call it as a company code, legal entity, cost center, profit center, plan, material, vendor. All these are entities within your organization. How are you going to make AI understand all of this? So you need to create an ontology layer on top of your existing business applications layer. And once that ontology is defined, then the AI on top of it understands what each one of those components means and how I'm going to fetch that information back to you and synthesize that information. Putting together this ontology, identifying all your data sources, connecting every one of your business applications, and teaching that AI in terms of what your existing organization is, and creating the digital twin layer precedes your final last mile delivery of natural language processing in a GPT layer to your users. So it is very, very important to conceptualize this end-to-end architecture before you end up doing it. I'll give you an example. In 1990s, when the client-server architecture came in place, everybody had the tools. You had something called the D2K, developed in 2000. You had Oracle, you had Visual Basic, you had Java, you had .NET, you have tons and tons of applications. So what happened? People kept on building applications on all of this. People were excited. So many applications got built. And then what happened? All of those became a tech debt. All of them became a legacy. And then a new emergent class evolved called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, which kicked out all of this legacy applications. That is the kind of point solutions we are delivering in AI today. There is a new category creation happening. The ERP category creation literally ruled the world for 20 years. 2000 and 2010 and 2020, ERP organizations kept on implementing ERP. As we speak, even the huge ERP which is happening is the ERP is what is happening right now.
The journey is 20 years. The next 20 years journey of AI is going to be a new category creation called as Enterprise Operating System, EOS. That EOS is the new category creation. There are not many companies out there who can do that right now. There are companies like Palantir, there are companies like Cohere, there are companies like C3, there are companies like Purple in Intellect. So there are some solutions happening here in the category creation for EOS. What I request to all of you is, while we need to keep experimenting on the point solutions and the AI solutions on an independent basis, there is a category creation called as Enterprise Operating System, which is going to come in the future, which will engulf the whole organization with that definition, ontology definition, digital layer, data layer, orchestration layer, workflows and security and guardrails, and to deliver a holistic platform for your AI consumption. Now, this is the message I'd like to leave you with. How do you orchestrate and architect your AI plan, AI future? And how do you imagine, think about all of these components, how they're going to come together, whether this is a single platform, and also imagine about what are the various cost components that you need to take into account in your compute layer, from compute layer to the token layer to the delivery layer. So unless you give a thinking on all of this, unless you have a holistic vision on all of this, we will also become a statistics of the 95% failure. We all would like to be part of the 5% success. So with this little insight, I would like to say thank you to all of you for listening to me for this 30 minutes. And I wish all of you a great, great, great AI journey in the future. Thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Maran, for that insightful and inspiring session on the future of AI. As we wrap up an exciting day of learning, sharing, and exploring new ideas, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Amar Al-Mubayar to deliver the closing note and officially conclude the summit.
Respected industry leaders and partners, as we come to close of this KaarTech MENA Summit 2025, I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude and pride. Today has been more than just a summit. We trust that sessions uncovering the truth of digital transformation, exploring the vision to value framework, laying the foundations of SAP ETM, drawing lessons from our Fireside chat, and envisioning the boundless future of AI. Speak directly, clearly, courage and momentum to shape the digital future of your organization. At KaarTech, our story of 2 decades is not just about growth. From a small startup to now over 3,000 professionals and across 20 plus countries, it is about staying true to a single belief that partnership is the foundation of transformation. Today, as we stand side by side, we are humbled to continue contributing to the region's progress. There is a powerful Arabic says, "Man jadda wajad." He who strives to succeed. The Middle East is at a defining moment across the region. All national visions and similar national programs are becoming reality. The world is looking at this region not only as a hub of energy and trade, but as a center for innovation and transformation. And at KaarTech, we are honored to be part of this story, enabling enterprises to reimagine themselves through SAP, AI, and other emerging digital technology. On behalf of KaarTech, to our industry leaders and partners, thank you for your openness and collaboration. To our CEO and senior management, thank you for gracing this summit with your digital vision and through leadership. To our team, thank you for your tireless efforts in bringing this vision to life. Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed, for that powerful closing note, requesting everyone gathered at the audience to please come on stage for a group picture, please. Requesting everyone in the audience, both the Kaar team as well as the partners, customers, colleagues, everyone. Requesting everyone to please join us. Our team requesting you to please manage the audience in a way that everyone is seen in the picture. Requesting everyone to please join us on stage. KaarTech team, please can you join us on the stage? Everyone, please join us. Let's make it a quick photo op and then disperse. Quickly, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. I hope everyone is visible in the picture. Let's ensure that. A few people can stand downstairs as well. Just ensure please that you're visible in the picture, everyone. Thank you so much for being a sport and being such supportive audience. I hope everyone is visible. Amazing. Let's quickly take the picture then. Respected leaders, partners, and colleagues, this officially concludes the KaarTech MENA Summit 2025. We will now break for a networking lunch. Please take this opportunity to connect and share ideas with your peers. Our representatives will guide you to the lunch area. It's on the same floor on the right-hand side for a restaurant called Mosaic. And you can